Hi, everybody.
Hi.
We're here today because we were tagged by the fine young lads at the Walt Way to do a Walt Disney World Trip Tip Challenge. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to give you some of our tips from the questions that have been supplied. And at the end of the video, we're going to tag a couple other people and see what their tips are. So, with no further interruptions, let's jump into the questions.
When is the best time to visit?
For me, the best time to visit is going to be in the fall. That's September, October. You get food and wine festivals going on. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties going on if you like that. If you like Halloween Horror Nights, that's going on outside of Disney, but it's all happening at the same. There's a lot of neat things happening at that time. If you go in earlier to mid-September, the crowds are not quite as bad. A little bit hotter, but not quite as crowded. So that's definitely my favorite time to go. What about you?
I love that time as well. Christmas can't be beat with the decorations and all of the holiday stuff that's going on, the Christmas party. But my absolute favorite time is January to go because the crowds are a little bit lower, especially if it's not a marathon weekend. And the temperature is fantastic in Florida in January. I know, I lived there forever. It's great. Plus, it's my birthday, so it can't be beat. Yeah. How long is the perfect visit?
For me, I think a week is a really good time. That allows you to visit all the parks once at least. Maybe get a second, spend another day or 2 days visiting some of your favorites again, park hopping around. It also gives you a day to do Disney Springs, one of the water parks, or something like that, or just take a resort day at your hotel. So I think that's a pretty good, it always leaves you wanting more. So I think that's a pretty good balance right there.
I think a perfect visit length of time is however long that you're still having fun. Once you start feeling tired of going out or maybe a little bit bored or not so energized and digging into Disney, then it's time for you to go. Alternatively, some people just need a couple days to get their Disney fix to get back into their normal life, and that is sometimes the best visit, a nice hit and run visit, if you will. Which hotel is the best to stay at and why?
Gosh, there's so many ways to go with this, but for me, I think Beach Club is my choice here, and it's all about location, location, location. You can walk maybe even only just 5 minutes to the International Gateway at Epcot. You can catch a bus or a boat going to the studios. You can walk through Epcot to catch a monorail to the Magic Kingdom Resort area if you like. So you don't have to take the buses to get to 3 theme parks. Although sometimes it may be more advantageous to take the bus than to go through the park to the monorail. But I like that location. It's close to the other hotels in that area. The boardwalk, the pool area is fantastic. You got kids or you just like hanging around the water. It's such a great place. Plus, beaches and cream. Who doesn't want to have beaches and cream just a few steps away? So, Beach Club is my choice.
That would be a winner for me as well. But I have to go with Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. The location's not so great. It's tough to get around, the buses and everything. But oh my gosh, the animals and the ability to walk out onto your deck and watch them, the sunrise and the feeding of the animals, that there's bringing them back out and taking a break in the afternoon and just sitting out and watching them, the giraffes and the zebras, and it can't be beat. Got to stick with the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
It's a pretty neat experience to walk out on your balcony and see the animals feeding or just walking by. Yeah. It's definitely neat.
It is really awesome. Is there anywhere else to visit near the parks?
There's nothing else to do in Central Florida. No,
sorry.
That's that.
No, Central Florida's barren.
Well, there are a couple of places besides the obvious Universal SeaWorld. Fun Spot, I think, is great. It's a neat little park. a couple of neat coasters and rides. It's a really fun time. If you haven't been, it's worth checking out, especially if you're visiting parks like maybe if Universal's closing a little bit early in the evening or SeaWorld's closing early in the evening. Also, being a coaster aficionado, I really like Busch Gardens. If you have the transportation to get over to Tampa, or you can rent a car, definitely go over and ride some of the coasters and check the theme park out over at Busch Gardens.
Busch Gardens Tampa is awesome. It also has tons of animals roaming, not free, but in huge areas. It's amazing to watch them. But there's so much to do. If you have a car, access to a car, so many day trips. A couple hours north, you've got St. Augustine. You can get out of the theme park bubble and just enjoy some time experiencing some history. There's Crystal River where you can swim with the manatees, feed the manatees. There's Sarasota, a 2-hour drive away. There have the Ringling Museum and the Ringling Circus Museum and the Ringling Mansion. It is so cool. There's so much stuff to do in Central Florida that can get you out of the theme park. And the beaches, oh my God, you can't beat Central Florida beaches. So, what is the one thing you must pack?
The one thing I must pack, besides my camera gear, is a little item like this. It is a powered, there's a connector on the back, it is a powered USB charger. You basically can plug all your electronics in the hotel into this one hub, one outlet needed for that. This one has 5 USB connectors, but you can get them in 7 or 10. You don't have to carry your phone plug. You can just have the USB cable, and really you should have multiple cables for your phone. But if you just carry the USB, you just plug it right in there, it charges up. Some of these, if you buy a cheaper one, will reduce. If you have all of them plugged in, they'll all be charged at a reduced rate. This one charges all of them at the maximum rate, which means everything's going to get charged up faster. So if you got something like this, you can charge your camera batteries, your phone, anything that you need to charge, external battery chargers. You just plug all that stuff into this. It's going to charge you overnight. You take a break, it's going to charge things up. So I must have this to charge up all my electronic devices.
I don't leave home without this. Band-Aid, friction block. Take care of your feet. No blisters. This helps to reduce any kind of rubbing for your feet. It's awesome. And then these are the best socks ever that are made. And I pack them simply because the last time when I needed them, because I didn't have this or this, we couldn't find them. So now I make sure that I take plenty of these with me. Don't forget to pack those. Okay, where is the best place to take a picture of the castle?
Definitely for me, the left side of the castle over by Liberty Square Bridge. I just love that side of the castle.
Yeah, agreed. That is a great place. We've taken some pictures there. They came out really nice. Obviously, Main Street, the hub, train station are pretty standard castle shots, but this is an off the beaten path kind of thing. So we really like that shot. Where's the best place to watch the parade?
Pretty much not too far away. Right in front of Hall of Presidents.
Yep.
You got Sleepy Hollow near if you want to get some snacks or a little something to nibble on. It's not nearly as crowded as Main Street. You can arrive much closer to the parade start time. Yep. So I definitely prefer that.
And you can also zip out without being blocked by the parade. So you can weave your way back towards Fantasyland. You can weave your way around towards Splash Mountain or Thunder Mountain, and you're not going to be told you can't cross here because of the parade route. You're pretty safe getting your way around the park that way. So we like Liberty Square.
Yeah.
What's the best place to watch the fireworks?
Watching it on Main Street is great,
Yeah.
but I really like watching it outside the park, whether it is from one of the balconies or the deck on top of the Contemporary or one of the Polynesian beach. It's a little bit less crowded. You get different perspectives than what you typically see. Everybody likes to go for the Castle Main Street view, but I like that. It's a little bit further away, a little more of an overview, not nearly as crowded.
I like watching the fireworks from Thunder Mountain, riding the train around Thunder Mountain and watching the fireworks hit. That's pretty awesome. And if I have to just keep staying on the ride over and over and over to get them all, then that's what I have to do. Such is life.
It's a good choice.
Which restaurant would you recommend and why?
I would probably say Boma. It's a buffet, which isn't a favorite for some folks, but it has something to offer for all the different palates. There's lots of different flavors. It offers you a little bit of experimentation, but it isn't something that's going to turn off a lot of picky eaters. They have chicken tenders, they have mac and cheese, they have stuff that's not quite as seasoned. They just have a lot of different foods to offer. Some are a little more experimental than others. Everybody loves the zebra domes, but it's just a good chance to try some different things without getting too experimental. Plus, after dinner, you walk around the resort, and there's all the animals to see at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. The lobby's beautiful. There's just a lot of things you can explore around the area right after dinner.
Yeah, that is awesome. I am going to stick with California Grill because that has sentimental value to me. That is where one of our first real dates were, and we always have had excellent service and phenomenal food at California Grill. If you get it timed right, if your reservation's right, they turn the lights down when the fireworks start, they pipe the music in. You can watch the fireworks. You can either go outside. In most cases, you can see it from your table. It's fantastic. And our wait staff has always been great. We had one waitress who did a photo shoot for us. She was basically our own little Disney photographer. We went outside. She took our pictures in front of everything, the sunset. It was amazing.
Yeah,
so we've
very
always
cool.
had a really good time there. So along those lines, what food should you try at this restaurant?
At Boma, it's all about the soup. I could eat just the soup. I don't because I want to eat so many other foods. But they usually have 5 or 6 different soups every night there. They rotate the soups. You have carrot ginger soup, Zanzibar crab soup, butternut squash soup, coconut curry soup, curried coconut seafood. There's all sorts of different soups, and they're all really good. Well worth trying. Definitely, if you go to Boma ever, you have to have at least a couple of the different soups, even if you just get a small taste, because they're so good.
And if you go to California Grill, you have to try the 3-meat spicy meatballs. They were amazing.
Really good.
We shared them, and it was a fight over the last one. Also, the filet on tomato risotto melted like butter. It was, oh my god, it was so good. So good. I'm starving now. Oh my gosh.
Yes, me too.
And then you should never miss the banana fritters with the 3 dipping sauces. That was so good. And I bet we have pictures of some of these things, and we might include them in here for you to look at. If not, sorry, you can probably find them online. But the food is just amazing. Which rides are a must?
All the coasters. Definitely ride the coasters, and I'm Mr. Coaster,
Yeah.
so I have to recommend all the coasters. If I had to jump around in each park, I'd probably say People Mover, Test Track over in Epcot, Tower of Terror in Hollywood Studios, and Everest in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I would go with those 2. I have to hit the Everest and Thunder Mountain. We never miss those. And If You Had Wings, you gotta ride If You Had Wings. That ride is awesome.
I wish I could go back in time and ride that. It was fun.
It was fun.
It was a good ride.
Oh, that's right. It's not there anymore. Oh, that's Buzz Lightyear. Okay, well, don't miss Buzz Lightyear either, because that's really cool. We always ride Buzz Lightyear. If you could only buy one thing, what would it be? And we're going to assume that that means a souvenir, not some kind of food item.
Yes. For mine, I'm going to say something like this: a book.
A book?
A book about behind the scenes, the history of the park, Imagineering, something like that. Not only are you going to end up with a history of the park in pictures, and it's something that will keep for a long time, but also you are going to get some concept art of things to come. This book here came from 1987, so here's like concept art for what's coming soon, Splash Mountain. So with something like this, it's a snapshot in time of the history of the parks up till then, and also what's to come. There's a couple of books I have from Disney in the 70s, and it's just really cool to look at that moment in time of the parks, what they thought of their history then, what was coming up in the future. So for me, books are a really, really good thing to purchase in the parks.
And for me, I like to splurge on myself because I don't really buy anything when we go, except a watch. I am a watch fiend. On Main Street, they have the watch store, and over in downtown Disney, they have the watch section in one of the stores, which is fantastic. I don't go for the ones that are on the spinners, the $10, $15, $25 ones. I'm kind of spoiled. I like to go for the limited edition ones. This one in particular that I got, which was probably one of the last ones, the most extravagant, was a hand-painted watch at the watch shop on Main Street. I don't know if it's still there or not. I hope it is, but I don't remember seeing it the last time. You choose a picture out of a book and order your watch, and a few hours later you come back, you pick up your watch, hand-painted, you get a signed picture. There's also hand-drawn picture and embossed with the Disney seal, certificate of authenticity. It's just an amazing way to commemorate your stay. This, I think, was either $85 or $125, but it's also for 16 years old. So I don't know if the watch place is still there. Okay, if you could only do one thing in the park, what would you do?
If I could only do one thing, I would probably just sort of people watch. Find a good place to grab a snack and just sort of sit and people watch and just sort of absorb the atmosphere. I used to do that when I was a CM. Sometimes I would go to the park and I didn't want to get in line for anything, especially when it was busier. But I could just grab a snack, sit, and just sort of watch what's happening, absorb the atmosphere. So for me, just sitting and watching and experiencing what's going on in the atmosphere of the park is a really cool experience.
If I could only do one thing other than ride a certain ride over and over and over again, Thunder Mountain, then it would be taking a backstage tour of something, anything. There's so many tours that are offered that range in price from, like the Behind the Scenes tour, which is relatively inexpensive, Keys to the Kingdom, not too bad, all the way up to like one of the Animal Kingdom safari tours, pretty extravagant, but they're all amazing, and the cast members are so knowledgeable and helpful, and it creates a memory that you use. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay. What is one thing you must take into the park?
Well, I must take my external battery charger. This one is a quick charge device, so it'll charge your phone up really fast. But I have others that have multiple plugs where you can attach an Android or iOS device. I usually carry multiple cameras, camera batteries, and phone. Some might say, you don't need to carry all that stuff. Well, I've never, ever had to stop and plug into a wall outlet in the parks or run out of battery juice. I always have enough. Carry one of these or a couple of these if you're like me and you have a lot of electronic stuff on you. And this is going to keep your electronics going. You can keep shooting your video, keep shooting your photos. get your phone charged up so you can access your fast passes and things like that, or use your phone to shoot pictures. But a device like this is going to help keep your devices charged so you can not worry about what your battery is at.
And I don't really take anything into the park with me, but I do make sure that I always have my sunglasses and my hat because I want to protect myself from the Florida sun. Recently, I've started taking a cooling towel with me into the parks, and that's pretty awesome too. It's nice and cold. Okay, last question. If I had to tell you one of my own tips, what would it be?
My tip is be flexible. Yes, Disney World requires a lot of planning to take the maximum enjoyment and make sure you're going to be able to hit everything, get your fast passes, your ADRs, and things like that. But be flexible. Be willing to stop and skip to something else if the lines are long. Switch parks if the lines are bad. Somebody's not doing so well, take a break. Go back to the hotel and just take a break for an hour or two and recharge your batteries. If you're not feeling great and you don't want to take that table service reservation, cancel that and go do something else. But just be flexible. Be willing to change things up according to how everybody in your group is feeling, doing, or what you feel like you want to do at a given moment.
My tip is just let it go. Don't let small things ruin your vacation for you. Somebody's having a bad day, your order gets messed up, your ride that you want to ride is closed, anything like that. Just let it go. Let it go. Don't let it ruin your vacation. There are other things to do, really, other places to eat. A bad meal is not a reason to let your vacation be ruined. A closed ride is no reason for you to think that your vacation is ruined. Just let it go.
All right, so that's all the questions. We hope you like some of our tips, and we're interested in what your tips are. So feel free to comment down below and let us know what your tips are. Thanks to the Walt Way guys for tagging us in this video. And we're going to throw out a couple of tags here of our own. Gem Sessions.
You're next.
Paracosm Travel Adventures. Inspired by the Mouse.
Lucky you.
And Disneyfied Life.
Awesome.
You are all on watch and you have been tagged. So let us know what your Walt Disney World tips are. We'll post the questions down below for you guys. And we hope everybody enjoyed it. Remember to like, subscribe, follow along. Join us on our future adventures. We got a trip coming up in September to Disney World where we will be executing some of these tips live. And we do appreciate everybody subscribing and watching. As always, remember to have a good time all the time.
Oops.
Let's try that again, Annette. She doesn't even know the right phrase. Remember, have a good time all the time. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.